My name is Sacha Lord. I'm the co-founder of Parklife Festival.
Sacha, tell us what you've been doing here today.
Well, you've probably seen that the Combined Authority are very passionate about talking about apprenticeships. 14, 15-year-olds. It's not necessarily a pathway to go to college or university. And I can really empathise with that personally, because when I was at school, everyone in my class knew exactly what they wanted to do as a career, and I didn't. And I sort of felt as if I was falling behind. So I didn't want those kids to feel the way I did. And further education isn't for everybody. So I thought, well, what's a perfect moment? Greater Manchester talking about apprenticeships. Let's get them down here and speak to some of the 4,500 people that work behind the scenes at Parklife to make this happen. And he spoke to sound engineers, techies, caterers, bars, artist liaisons, some of the people who do the performers here. And it was just fantastic. You could see the cogs turning, and actually this can be an incredible career. You don't have to go to university for this. You can start at the bottom and you can work your way right up to the top.
Like you say, you could see those cogs turning, the kids, all the different jobs that are on offer and stuff like that. So you think maybe you've got that spark?
Well, I don't think I know, because 3 of the 14-year-olds asked me for a job before they left. So I had to point out, you've got to, be 17 at least. But you could tell, I think some of them got that taste for it, which is, out of the kids this morning that came, if one of them takes a career away in events and hospitality, for me, that's me. I'm chuffed as chips with that.
And is this something that you want to keep doing then? Is it things that you want to branch out on into the future to help even more kids discover other things that they can go into?
I do. Andy Burnham's been talking about this for months and months and months. He's been so supportive of it, along with the Combined Authority and GMAC. So definitely. And in a moment of weakness over there, one of the teachers did corner me and say, "Could you do this again next year?" And I said yes, without even thinking about it. So it looks like it's now an annual thing that's in the calendar.
How is the planning going to start now?
It's good. I think we're about a day ahead of schedule with the build, which is fantastic. Obviously, we're still 2 days away, so everything can still go wrong. But it's looking good, and a real rarity. It's going to be dry and sunny on both Saturday and Sunday.
And how important is this weekend to boost the economy? Obviously, like you said, we've got quite a few music events going on this week. How important is that?
We have. So we've got Parklife, we've got the Killers, we've got Alicia Keys, we've got Ed Sheeran. There's 300,000 people coming into the city this weekend. Forget what happens within those stadiums. That's, if you think about taxis, restaurants, bars, new outfits, that's going to bring about £21 million into the local economy. And that's a boost that the economy needs right now. You've clearly seen in the news how bad things are. And they're going to get worse. And the fact that people have had this boost is phenomenal. It's just at the right time as well.
Cost of living crisis obviously having an impact on a lot of people, but would it be nice to see all those people there this weekend just enjoying themselves and living in the moment?
Do you know what? I think that's the thing about music, isn't it? You can walk through the gates. I'm not just talking about Parklife. I'm talking about if you go to a nightclub or a gig or anywhere, you kind of leave your worries on the doorstep. You go in and enjoy yourself, and then pick up again the next day once you've got rid of your headache. So I think that's the great thing about festivals. And last year, I'll never forget, when we opened the doors, a lot of the kids that came through the doors hadn't seen their friends for months and months and months because of lockdown. And we saw groups hugging each other and crying. And that was not just customers, it happened backstage as well. Lots of those freelancers that didn't have any work. So it creates special moments. And I'm really looking forward to this weekend.
Thank you. Can I just ask you a quick question about hospitality careers still?
Yes.
Back to that. I just wondered what you would say about creating sort of long-term careers in hospitality. Because obviously you've got an event here which is about starting people off on their career journey. But how would you talk about maybe making it an attractive career for life?
So I think everybody knows there's a staff shortage at the moment in hospitality, and I think we're looking at it differently in Greater Manchester to the rest of the UK, because I think I've been quite honest to say, look, in the city region there's lots of very, very good operators, but actually I think there's some people that really, really need to up the game. And when I say that, I'm talking about pre-COVID. If you work behind a bar in a pub, say for example, and you turn up for work and it wasn't busy, you can get sent home. Well, that member of staff has probably paid for a bus there, a bus back, and it doesn't sit right with me. So we're linking now heavily hospitality into the Good Employment Charter. I would like to see better pay for people, at least a real living wage. That is basic. Forget this minimum wage nonsense. That's why people don't want to work in this industry. I think we have to guarantee a minimum number of hours. If you're on your rota, then you're working at least a minimum 4 hours. That's it. but also a personal one for me. In the nighttime economy, when you're working nights, especially in the winter, a lot of the time you finish in the early hours of the morning, and then by the time you get to your next rota, you've not seen any daylight. So I think there needs to be a much bigger open conversation about mental health and actually looking after your employee better. So we're working on that now. We held a session probably 6 weeks ago to launch the next strategy for the nighttime economy, and careers is one of the major standouts for us.
So Parklife, that project and everything, they're signing up to this charter.
Absolutely.